On the news, President Buhari unveils mega-rise pyramids in Abuja. APC Caretaker Committee Chairman confirms convention will be held in February. And court adjourns Nnamdi Kanu's trial as federal government files fresh terrorism charges. We're glad to have you join us in news now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The All Progressives Congress APC Caretaker Committee Chairman Mai Malabuni has announced February 26 as a date for the APC convention. Buni, who is also the governor of Yobe State, said this on Tuesday at the National Progressive Women Conference 2022 held at the International Conference Center in Abuja. He said the party is counting on the support of women to hold a successful convention. Buni's announcement comes less than 48 hours after APC governors met behind closed doors at the Kebbi Governor's Lodge in Abuja.
APC parades over 41 million registered members, asserting our position as Africa's largest political party and, of course, Nigeria's leading political party. With this, we are confident of winning the 2023 general election with huge success. I therefore want to use this opportunity to sincerely thank you for your support to the party before, during and after the exercise. I also look forward to your more support during the convention and indeed the general elections. I'm proud to add that APC is the most women-friendly party in Nigeria. Let me also assure you that the party shall reciprocate this gesture by supporting women and youth in their political aspirations and to realize their political dreams. We look forward to having more women contesting in the forthcoming national convention of the party from February 26, 2022.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, on Tuesday has charged political parties to conduct primaries that are transparent and devoid of hostilities. Mahmood made the demand at the INEC headquarters in Abuja during the Commission's first quarterly consultative meeting with political parties in 2022, urging party leaders to respect their chosen primary election dates.
Let me seize this opportunity to draw the attention of parties to the necessity for transparent and rancor-free primaries. Parties should also respect their chosen dates for the primaries based on the Commission's timetable and schedule of activities. Already, many parties have rescheduled their primaries several times. For emphasis, the bimodal voter accreditation system will be deployed in the FCT elections, which is the second major election after the Anambra governorship election held in November last year. The 68 constituencies in the FCT, 6 area council chairmen, and 62 councillors, covering extensive urban and rural locations, sharing borders with 5 states in the north central and northwestern parts of the country, is another opportunity to pilot the efficacy of the beavers in a different geographical, geopolitical, and electoral context. The same technology will be deployed in all forthcoming by-elections across the country.
In response, the chairman of the Nigeria's Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yabagi Sani, urged INEC to upgrade the level of diligence and proficiency of both its permanent and ad hoc personnel on election duties. He also called for an improvement to the operational conditions of all biometric gadgets.
Among others, we noticed that there is the requirement for upgrading the level of the diligence and proficiency of both its permanent and ad hoc personnel on election duties by way of training, refresher courses, and reorientation. There is need for a more robust deployment of logistics and greater performance in the distribution of vital election materials. Very importantly, IPAC is recommending improvement in the operational conditions of all the biometric gadgets in order to reinforce the growing confidence in their use as reliable technological devices for the enthronement of credible and transparent elections.
President of the Senate, Hamad Lawan, has assured that the chamber would expedite action on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, having concluded all consultations on the President's response. The Senate President said this on Tuesday in an address delivered at the start of plenary to welcome senators back from the Christmas and New Year break. Lawan recalled that the Senate postponed discussions on the consideration of the response of President Muhammadu Buhari on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill in December last year. He added that the Senate must continue to prioritize the security and welfare of citizens as enshrined in the Constitution, while urging Nigerians not to despair as a result of the security challenges confronting the nation.
Distinguished colleagues, the Senate postponed discussions on the consideration of response of Mr. President on the Electoral Act 2010 Amendment Bill to enable us to consult with our counterparts in the House of Representatives and also consult our constituents. Like we all know, the Senate and indeed the National Assembly worked so hard on the bill. Having consulted, the Senate will expeditiously look into the issue. The security situation in our country is still there. We must remain focused and determined to work with the executive arm of government and also continue to support our armed forces and security agencies. We must continue to prioritize the security and welfare of our citizens as enshrined in our Constitution. I urge us not to be discouraged by the situation. We should make this year as the year for the final securing of our nation from the numerous security challenges.
And now to security. Military authorities said troops engaged and repelled terrorists during operations in Chukun and Igabi local government areas of Kaduna State. The Kaduna State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, in a statement on Tuesday, revealed that troops in the Maraban Rido General area of Chukun LGA responded to sounds of gunfire and swiftly mobilized towards the target location. An intense firefight followed at the targeted building, but the troops' superior firepower prevailed over the terrorists, who escaped through a back fence with gunshot wounds. While in pursuit of the terrorists through their withdrawal route, 8 persons who had initially been taken hostage were rescued, and one of the gunmen was neutralized by the troops during the operation. Well, still on security, Governor Bello Matawalle of Zamfara State has said banditry will not end soon in the state. The governor said this on Monday while responding to questions from State House correspondents after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. The governor further explained that individuals in the state are using insecurity to score political points and justify their views that government is not serious about bringing a halt to the crisis. Matawalle also dismissed reports that over 200 persons were killed in the recent attacks in Bokuyam and Anka areas of the state.
The government is doing everything possible to make sure that we bring sanity in the state. And alhamdulillah, the action that we have taken, we have recorded successes within just 3 days. And you bear me witness, after that attack, there is no any report of any banditry activities in the state up till today. Yes, I have already clear air about the figures, because I see some reporting that 200 people, 300 people, 500 people were killed. But I went to the community by myself and the security agencies. First, we went to Bukuyum, and we confirmed from the emir of Bukuyum that it was only 36 people that had been killed. And 2 communities were being raised by these bandits. And we come to Anka. We met the emir of Anka. At the time we met the emir of Anka, he gave us the list of 22 people that had been killed, making the total numbers of 58 people killed. But as I've been saying, there are some political bandits who have been spreading lies, rumors, so that they can achieve some political gain. But actually it is 58 people killed. But some people will just go to social media, been writing figures. And I have informed Mr. President of some people who think that with this insecurity, they can achieve something out of it. Because I wonder how people will just be writing figures without, having genuine information from those communities.
Well, joining me now to speak more on the rising insecurity in Zamfara State is security expert Roy Okidive. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, what do you make of the statement by the Zamfara State governor that banditry might not end soon due to the actions of some individuals in the state?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. I totally agree, and I agree on the basis of the fact that he has observed that we now do political terrorism in Nigeria, where we try to use insecurity to intimidate our opponents. We now do media banditry, where we use different kinds of figures on the media to intimidate people with fear and to discredit the sitting government. So all of these and our ability to intimidate the judicial process. We have not seen closures on major cases where the bandits are taken to court and the case is ruled and they are sentenced to death or life imprisonment, whatever the case may be, depending on their culpability. So the judicial processes have not had the appropriate closures. Then we have not seen the security agencies being enabled and fully motivated to cover all the spaces and to have the wherewithal to meet the current dynamic of the insecurity that we face. Because if people move from point A to point B, you will really understand that they communicate. And Nigeria took a cue to actually put pegs on our communication porosity. And all of a sudden, the whole thing got enshrined in political commentary. We have not closed the registrations of names. We have not closed on data sharing. We have not closed on electronic data identification. We have not closed on all of these GPS enabled into all these our spaces. And all these spaces that you see, where the agencies are having paucity of presence, these are our economic grounds. These are areas where we have our agro projects. These are areas where we have our fish projects. These are areas where we have mineral resources. So if the government cannot see the benefits, the economic benefits, to invest and reduce political influences on security operations, then we are not ready. You see, we have a long time to go. When you use the Tucano to bomb them, they disintegrate back into the society. The same society is not having the enabled trust to work with the government. The village heads and the village chiefs have been found wanting to connive with bandits and kidnappers. Then the security agencies have just been found wanting now to be in the know of bunkering and abuse on our oil and gas economy. So,
sorry to interrupt you at the point, but could you tell us, does the state governor's statement mirror the situation in other states, especially since it appears as if banditry attacks are not relenting anytime soon?
Come again, please.
Now, if you heard me, I said, does the state governor's statement mirror the situation in other states, especially since it appears as if banditry attacks are not relenting anytime soon?
It's not. You look at Kaduna. You see what's happening in Kaduna. We thought we had a kind of gallant government in place that fully understands the dynamics and the trajectory of the insecurity situation. But when you don't have the wherewithal to arrest, to pass them through criminal justice system, and to allow agencies and government institutions to work, you're already in trouble. Because right now, some of them are moving to the south, southwest, and southeast. You are hearing that there are kidnappings going on now on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. These are disintegrations. And you need the agencies to synchronize. The police is not synchronized with the DSS. The DSS and the military and the police, they are not seeing eyeball to eyeball. They are not sharing relevant intelligence. There are no actionable platforms to work. So definitely the lawlessness will continue. The bandits will continue to have the upper hand. Now they are taking taxes from communities. They are demanding money from people before they go to their farms, their businesses. They are demanding money from communities. And these are trackable events. Are there no modes from government agencies that could penetrate those communities and act as community representatives and generate information and quash these people? There are. But the point remains.
That's indeed a very, very important question that we hope we'll get some answers to. But security expert Roy Okidive, I'm sorry, this is much you can take on the matter. But thank you very much for your contributions. Moving on, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday adjourned further proceedings in the case against the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, till Wednesday. The adjournment is at the instance of Kanu, who complained of delayed service of a 15-count amended charge by the prosecution. Kanu, through his team of lawyers led by senior lawyer Mike Ozekome, further accused the Nigerian government of denying him the necessary facility to defend the charge against him.
No one is running away from plea being taken. But the point we made today, which the court appreciated, is that you can't take plea to counts that have not even been given to you. We were served some minutes to 10 a.m. yesterday a 15-count amended charge for a case coming up today. Whereas the last date of adjournment was 2nd of December. So they had well over 1.5 months to have done that and served us. They didn't. So I believe that was intended to frustrate today's proceedings.
The prosecution, Shuaibu Labaran, who did not oppose the request for adjournment, however, faulted the action of Kanu's legal team, describing it as frustrating the course of the trial.
You are aware of the fact that law requires that charges can be amended and filed even on the eve of the judgment of any case. So the mere refusal to take the plea today is one of the several antics employed by the defendant to delay this case. But I want to assure you that the 3 days given by this honorable court shall be properly utilized, notwithstanding the fact that today has already been frustrated by an act of technicalities. We are ready to take it up tomorrow.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, all-female referee squad make history at AFCON tournament. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of our top stories tonight. The All Progressives Congress APC Caretaker Committee Chairman Mai Malabuni has announced February 26 as a date for the APC convention. Buni's announcement comes less than 48 hours after APC governors met behind closed doors at the Kepi Governors Lodge in Abuja. We also told you that military authorities said troops engaged and repelled terrorists during operations in Chukwu and Igabi local government areas of Kaduna State. The Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, in a statement on Tuesday, revealed that troops in the Maraban Radio General Area of Chikun LGA responded to sounds of gunfire and swiftly mobilized towards the target location. An intense firefight followed at the targeted building, but the troops' superior firepower prevailed over the terrorists, who escaped through a back fence with gunshot wounds. But in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Ahead of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, a non-governmental organization, Oxfam Nigeria, has released its World Inequality Report, where it revealed that the world's 10 richest men during the first 2 years of COVID-19 more than doubled their fortunes from $700 billion to $1.5 trillion. Speaking virtually, the country director of Oxfam Nigeria, Vincent Ahonsi, recommended that government should increase taxes on the wealth of the richest while also investing the trillions realized from taxes on infrastructure.
Oxfam is not against billionaires. Oxfam is not calling a social action or a mob action against billionaires. That is not what Oxfam is calling for. Oxfam is saying, one, let us tax the rich appropriately in a progressive party for them. Number two, let's appeal to their conscience. Because at the end of the day, none of us will take this out of the world. We need to be our brother's keeper. We need to think of humanity. We need to think of how we protect the planet, how we protect the climate. That is where Oxfam comes in.
On his part, the Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative and Advocacy Center warned that if inequality isn't evened up, the much talked about sustainable development goals will remain a pipe dream.
The increase in corruption, the COVID-19 had created additional inequality in Nigeria. And that is why it is important that we call on the Nigerian government at local, state and national level to wake up and do something so that this widening and worsening inequality in Nigeria can be addressed. And it is on this context that we think Oxfam has helped to bring out these issues for the Nigeria and Nigerian government to critically examine these issues with view to address the widening inequality in Nigeria.
I will take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Welcome back. Well, Simisola Adigun joins us now for business news and stock market review. What's the latest in business, Simi?
Well, the latest is that President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled bags of rice paddy numbering 1 million stacked as pyramids in Abuja, the nation's capital. Considered to be the biggest of its type in Africa, the pyramids are located on the grounds of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industries. The bags of rice were planted and harvested from states across the country under the Anchor Borrowers Program ABP. Our correspondent Mary Kanu now reports.
For 4 decades, Nigeria witnessed a high level of food insecurity as a result of neglect in food production. As a solution to the nation's high reliance on food imports and widespread malnutrition in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari launched the Anchor Borrowers Program with the goal of providing aid to farmers and influencing the value chain of various commodities in the country. Under this program, 1 million bags of rice paddy were planted and gathered from states around the country to construct the rice pyramids. Speaking after the unveiling, President Buhari said the rice pyramids will greatly impact on the cost of rice in the country.
They symbolize that we can produce what we eat. The significance of today's occasion can be better understood by looking at the various economic strides the administration has achieved through agriculture.
Certifying that the unveiling of a rice pyramid signifies growth for the country, Governor of Ekiti State Kayode Fayemi said the government will not relent until rice becomes affordable for all Nigerians.
If anyone is in doubt that there is no greater security than food security, now that doubt must be clearly erased in the minds of ordinary Nigerians. Because gone are those days when national security simply means regime security. Now, national security means human security. National security means food security. And national security means the security of every single one of us in ensuring that we live a life of self-worth.
On his part, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, hailed President Buhari's vision on food security and encouragement of smallholder farmers in the country.
These accomplishments also show that with the right leadership and vision, we can meet any and every challenge in our country. COVID-19 has shown that we cannot rely on imports, and hence we must chart our own path to attaining self-sufficiency in our basic needs as a nation.
Emefiele also revealed the Anchor Boroughs program increased rice milling plants from 6 to 50 in the last 6 years, while the national output of rice production also increased from 5.4 million metric tons in 2015 to over 9 million metric tons in December 2021. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
We'll go on a short break and be back with the stock market report. The Nigerian Stock Exchange on Tuesday closed on a bullish note, occasioned by gains in the share prices of BUA Foods and BUA Cement by 4.21% and 2% respectively. Regarding the performance of NGX market indices, the benchmark all-share index moved up 0.58% to close at 44,655, with current market capitalization standing at 24.1 trillion naira. Today, the market breadth closed positive as 27 equities appreciated in their share prices against 13 equities that declined in their share prices. Skyway Aviation Handling Company led the gainers list, followed by Courtville Business Solutions with a combined gain of 6 naira 21 kobo. Leading the losers counter, NEM Insurance Company is closely followed by Sunny Assurances Nigeria with a combined 3 naira and 94 kobo loss. At the end of today's trading session, 235 million volume of shares valued at 1.9 billion naira exchanged hands in 4,151 deals. Now to select global stocks, FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei. It was a bad trading day for these markets as they all ended in the reds. London's FTSE dropped on Tuesday, weighed down by shares of consumer companies and banks, while improving employment conditions in the UK and rising US Treasury yields signaled growing bets on tighter monetary policies. US stocks Dow Jones fell sharply as investors geared up for a holiday shopping week, rife with quarterly earnings reports from companies across all three major indices. Japan stocks witnessed a decline as losses in the paper and pulp, railway and bus and real estate sectors led shares lower. Well, that's all on Stock Market Report. Back to you, Folashade.
Well, many thanks to me for that update. Now on the foreign scene, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, is appealing to almost $130 million to avoid an impending humanitarian catastrophe in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia, Kenya and Somalia, the most impacted countries, are facing their third severe drought in a decade. The UN organization has put forward a rapid response and mitigation plan, highlighting a set of activities that should be prioritized from the recent humanitarian response plans. The FAO plan aims to deliver help and save the livelihoods of an estimated 1.5 million people living in rural areas. An all-women team have made history at the African Cup of Nations as they officiated in a Group B game between Zimbabwe and Guinea. Rwanda's Salima Mukanzanga has become the first female main referee to ever officiate at a game in the tournament. She is also part of the quartet selected as match officials at the match, making it the first time ever that an all-women team officiates a match at the Africa Cup of Nations tournament since the competition was established. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Fola Shadi. Ogurinde. Bye for now.